Our first case tonight is murder, and very nearly multiple murder. For whoever killed a local government official 4 months ago almost blew up a block of flats and all its residents. The dead man was Bulic Forsythe. Detectives hope tonight to find the motive and the culprit.
Love, is anyone in there?
Well, I don't know. Mr. Forsythe lives there. If he's in or not, I don't know.
Oh, there's someone in there. Get a move on. Lock in here, Tom! Where's the police? Lock it out! We've got a body in here, Tom! There's a body in here, go! One man found in back bedroom, apparently dead.
The fire had been started deliberately. The dead man was 42-year-old Bulic Forsythe, and he'd been murdered, beaten repeatedly and savagely around the head.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh, Edna. I've just walked through the car park. It's a complete mess. There's cars blocking in social work.
Bulic worked for Lambeth Social Services at our headquarters in Clapham for over 4 years. Although he was considered by some people to be rather overzealous, in fact his bark was much worse than his bite.
This morning I came through the yard. There were cars wrongly parked, blocking other people in. Social services cars can't get out in an emergency.
Amongst his responsibilities were premises management of some 10 social services buildings around the borough. He was a very conscientious and efficient office manager. And in fact, senior management in social services often asked him to write important policy documents on health and safety procedures. I would say that he had a very genuine concern for the welfare of staff.
Hello? Yes, yes. Bulic Forsythe speaking.
We generally heard very little from him about his private life. Really, he kept very much to himself on those matters.
Bulic moved to Foster Court in South London 4 years ago. In 1990, he'd married an American, but he loved his job too much to emigrate. So his wife, now pregnant, was planning to join him in Britain.
Oh, I'm fine, thank you, Mrs. Harris.
Their baby was due in May.
I'm so overjoyed at the moment to think that at 42 I'll be having my first child with you.
He was very excited. I said, Dee, I can't believe this. At my age, I'm going to be a father. He said, somebody up there must love me. I said, please, don't you tell anyone until I'm sure. But I guess I should have told him to tell the world, because as soon as I hung up, he called my mom, he called his friends, and I heard he went to the pub, and he told everyone. Bulic was easygoing, loved to party, loved his music, and loved to play pool. And I guess on his job, most people never saw that side of him.
In fact, while Dawn was in America, Bulic, or John as some friends knew him, may have been quite lonely. Few colleagues at work were close to him, but he had several friends from Clapham, some from the gay scene, and several visited his flat. Please call if you knew him. For some months before his death, Bulic had often been seen with 2 men at an off-licence just across the road from his flat. One man always stood near the doorway, while the other seemed equally keen not to be recorded by the shop's security camera. The owner remembers this man as scruffy in blue, tight-fitting jeans and a casual jacket. He was about 25 years old, 6 feet tall, with blue eyes and unkempt fair hair.
Are you up already, Bulic? It's only 4:45.
Yes, I've just finished working on this report now, and I've been at it for 6 weeks, but it's all done. Really pleased. So I'm going to get an early night.
Bulic was last seen alive leaving the council offices around 5 p.m. on Wednesday, February the 24th.
Every morning I hear the alarm of Mr. Forsythe go off, because my bedroom is above his bedroom. But this morning I didn't hear the alarm. And then when I went out at 9 o'clock, I saw his curtains open. That was unusual, because mostly his curtains are drawn at that time in the morning.
Edna, Have you seen Bulic this morning?
Is he expecting you?
Well, not really, but I'm a little bit worried because he's normally here by now.
While his colleagues were trying to contact him, Bulic's flat may have been having visitors. A local resident recalls,
I was going over the paper shop to buy a paper, and I saw 3 men was coming out of Foster Court round the front there. They was carrying some briefcase and some folders in their hands. Why I noticed them? Because they look official. I never saw them here before.
if you were one of those 3 men, the police would dearly like to hear from you. 4 hours later, just before 2 o'clock, the same resident who'd seen visitors at the front noticed something unusual at the back of Bulic's flats.
I saw a white car parked there in the corner with 2 men sitting in it, and they was gazing at me. They're well dressed, and one of them have black hair, the other one have a brownish hair. I live here for 18 years and I never see a car parked there before.
Mike, I'm getting concerned about Bulic. I'm going to go around to the flat later, see if he's okay.
When she got there at 5 p.m, Bulic's curtains had been closed. Someone had obviously been in the flat that day.
Bulic! Bulic! Are you in there? Open the door, Bulic!
Bulic was probably inside, but almost certainly now dead. Then, later on that night, a resident in Foster Court was disturbed by a commotion.
It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I remember looking at the clock. I heard running at the back of the flats quite heavy footsteps.
The gas failed to explode, and Bulic's neighbour woke up an hour later.
Oh my God, there's a fire. Fire brigade. Fire brigade.
Please call. I would like to know why he was murdered. And for my sake, my baby's sake, and his family, we all want to know why.
If you know anything that could suggest a motive for Bulic Forsythe's death, do please ring. And would this man, a friend perhaps called Steve, who's maybe a bicycle courier, call as well? Or were you one of the 2 friends seen with Bulic in the off licence? Can you help eliminate the 3 men who were leaving Foster Court? We know some documentation is missing from Bulic's flat. It could be personal or it could be connected with his work. Do you know where it is? Or have you been offered Bulic's watch, a silver Rolex Oyster model, R16220A7? Who would be so crazy as to set fire to a building in the dead of night with families asleep in all the other flats? Detective Superintendent Brian Tompkins is waiting for your call, or you can ring another number, the Murder Inquiry Room at Gypsy Hill, 071 326 1212. That's 071 326 1212.
This next case is one of the most frightening crimes, but also one of the most unusual. It's the robbery of a couple in their home one evening last March, and police believe the robbers were acting on particular